Welcome back to our series on Firebase integration with the SwiftUI in iOS app. In today's video, we will be exploring an important aspect of Firebase Firestore integration, uploading data seamlessly to Firestore in SwiftUI. So we will be creating an user input UI, allowing user to edit and delete items in shopping list app. But before we dive into the implementation details, I'd like to ask for your support by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Your support encourages me to continue creating informative tutorials like this for you. All right, so to begin the process of uploading data to Firestore, we will refer to the official Firebase documentation. So this documentation actually offers a comprehensive guidance on integrating Firestore into your SwiftUI app and handling data operations effectively. So we have already done a lot of integration from previous videos, and we also integrate the way to downloading the data from Firebase to Firestore. So now we just actually need one more additional thing here, so we can upload the data to the database. So before we do that, let's clean up our Firebase Firestore's database from previously so that we can start from fresh. So we're gonna just simply delete those. Right, so that data has been deleted. All right, so let's start with creating a function called upload shopping item. We're gonna pass in the user ID like above, so we can reference to the collection. And then we want to pass in item that user will eventually generate so that we can upload that information to the Firebase Firestore. So at this point, we can pretty much copy everything here, but we're gonna make some tweaking so that it fits what we need. So in order to have this item to be uploaded, we need to call the set data in the Firebase, in the Firebase Firestore API. But in order to do that, we need to encode our data to encode our object to a data, so we convert that into a JSON. So let's go ahead and do that. Or let item data equal to item JSON encoder encode item else. So this should give us item data. Yes, give us the data. Otherwise, we want to throw an error. In this error, we're just gonna say domain error domain code 999. Then we want to convert that again. Let item JSON equal to JSON serialization dot we want to pass this JSON object with item data, and then we want to cast that as a string any dictionary. Otherwise, through an error, error domain and 999. Now we have this item JSON. Then what we can do next is trying to call set data, and we can pass this item JSON merge to true, so that we can merge with our data. So we have some error here. We have the throw, so we have to cause throws. And then after we done, let's go back to documentation and see what we need to do next. All right, so welcome here to the documentation, and it looks like we can just set the data and we will get either error or success. So let's go back to make some update on that so we can handle that properly. So set data, and we have the completion, right? This one here, set data, and item JSON merge true. I think we can just go ahead and do that. Or I do believe there's a try away version of this. So let's see if we can find an async version of this. And I do believe it's this one right here. Okay. So set data and item JSON true. So then we have item result, item upload result. And we can check for item upload result. I think if have error, it will return error. Otherwise, it will not return anything. So we can just go ahead and leave it at that. Then that should be good to go there. And yes, we do need to try here. So that should help us to upload the document to Firebase Firestore. So now let's try to create out the UI part and to see how can we handle that and make sure we are uploading it. So let's go ahead. In the shopping list, this should become a list of a table view to host all the items. So we want to add a extra, maybe a plus a button somewhere. So that way we can just tap the button and adding a new item to the list. So let's go ahead and do that. For now, we're gonna remove this, just create a list. Then we're gonna put a couple one empty stub in there. This is a test item, maybe two, just so we can see. Okay. And after that done, we can pretty much create a button here. We're gonna say action do upload item create open add new item page, and label is gonna say it's gonna be just a plus, or maybe should we use an image, but let's use a plus for now. Give it a basic style. Okay, so that's will be our button, and we're gonna comment this out so we don't call this, since we don't have any data right now. We don't really care, but we don't want to cause any trouble at the moment. So we're gonna continue to create this view here. So we're gonna call this a state private var show add item view. Gonna give a default as a false. And then whenever we tap on this button, we want to presenting a screen. Percent, oh wait, not percent, it's a sheet. So we want to present as a sheet, so show add item view. Then we want to create the item view right here. So we're gonna toggle this button whenever that being called. Equal to true. Now we want to go to create another view for adding the items. So let's create that. So let's call this add item view. And then in this item view, we're gonna have those information. We want to have name, description, data created, type. So just for the basic usage, and we're gonna ignore the date for now. We're gonna use, actually no, we're not gonna ignore them. We're gonna switch this ID to use a UUID instead. So UUID. Okay. And we're gonna have a date picker. We're gonna have a menu to selecting the type. So for the type, we're gonna just keep with the single one, but let's add another one just in case. So let's call it food, fruit. And call this one meat. And this one gonna be snacks. We're gonna use this for now. Then we'll come back to add more if we need to. So let's go copy this 4 items here so we can go create the view. Okay. So we want to make sure we have a text field to enter the data, and also we have a button to actually to submit the item, then we can dismiss it. So let's create a VStack here. I'm gonna create first a text field. So we're gonna have a few items here. I'm gonna have a state private var. I'm gonna call name, item name equal to empty string, state private var, item description, and we're gonna just copy that, then give a couple more. Item created day and item type. And then we're gonna put right here text field. I'm gonna call this so the first one is a placeholder. So let's just give all empty string for now. We don't really care. Item name, and we want to have a actual title. So we're gonna group them a little bit. Of course, there's plenty of different way to do it, but for our simplicity, I'm just gonna code them each one out. I'm gonna just copy paste them so we can get things rolling here. And at the very end, of course, I'm gonna add a button here. I'm gonna call this action for upload item, or just call add item. And text just gonna be add item. I'm gonna give a button style. All right. So for this one, it's gonna be item description. And right here, we're going to use a date picker. And the day picker, we're going to call this item create. Well, actually, the date picker, we do not need a date picker, because it's whenever we create a day, or we create item, that day should be current day. So by default, on this page right here, we actually don't need extra entry of this. So whenever we create that, we can just add to it. So we can remove this one here. But we still need another picker for the selection of item type. So we're gonna call this, so for here, we're gonna use a picker, and we're gonna use this. 0 don't need a content because we don't really need anything. Let's see. Okay, I think we should just use this. So let's call this item type, and we're gonna use, item type here. Content, we're just gonna do a print of a selection to show selection. So okay, I think it's not for print. I think this one is actually the view of it. So let's do this. I think it was this for each data ID. Data will be the item type, all cases, item type, all cases. I believe that's all cases, or I need to do an array for this. Okay, so for this item, all item types, I think we can do something like this. Private var let all items is a string of array equal to item type the all cases the map. And we can mapping out this by calling raw value of it. So we'll have a all item that is string, just strings. So now use all item. Key is gonna be ID, I believe was slash dot self. Nope, wrong way. Slash self, and binding object will say item, and it's gonna be text item. Now we do need to bind this, so we're gonna use add stay private let. Okay, private var, and then here should be good. Okay, no self. I think maybe the small one. All right, so next want to get, so this item is binding string. So technically, let's make a, I think we can do this, or wrap the value. So that should give us the proper information we need. And then for now, we need to also pass in our Firebase manager. So let's copy this and put it right in here, so we can add the item when we need to. And we need to submit those information, name, description, type. So we need to go back to the Firebase manager to calling for this upload shopping item. So we need to go to Firebase manager, creating the proper function we need for that purpose. So we create a user, sign in, and we have a get shopping list. So now we want to say add new item. I'm gonna have a name, I'm gonna have a description, I'm gonna have a type, and this will be a string. And then come back here, we want to construct the item. So let the new item equal to item. Name is going to be name, description, date created. We're just going to use day, the current date, but we want to convert that to a string. So let's see what we can do. So in order to convert that, let's just quickly create an extension here called date, and then we'll say to string. So that should return us a string value. And we're gonna create a date formatter equal to date formatter. And date formatter, we're gonna have a date style. We're just gonna use the short date. Short date basically prints out something like 0, 1, like 12, 12, 2000. So that should be good enough for us in this case. And then we want to use a date formatter dot string from day. Use a date, which is today. But we're gonna pass this in, so I'm gonna use self instead. And we want to return this value. So now we can actually call date here, create empty date, then to string. And type, we're going to be passing the item type raw value type. So that'll create our new item. Now we can call Firebase manager dot add new item. I believe it's called Firebase store. Add new upload. And it's async throws. So we need a user ID. It's going to be user.id. And same thing, we want to make sure user exists. So an item is going to be new item. Try away. And main actor. And we also has the possibility we must be unwrapping the value. So let's just use a bang for now. This exclamation point. Let's use that for now. So let's go back. Give the default preview value, and we're gonna call this. We're gonna use task. Gonna call do catch. And we're gonna call Firebase Firestore Firebase manager add new item. gonna pass the name, item description, and item type. Gonna print out the error for now. So that should help us to upload the volume. A raw volume, okay. I do believe we can just use a string here because it will end up passing the string back to us. So we're gonna call this snack. Actually, we're gonna use just default volume for that. And wherever you pick, we're gonna pick the type. Okay, so that's fine there. So now we want to go back to, want to dismiss this as well. So it's gonna be environment. I believe I need a /dismiss and var and dismiss. So that way you can dismiss the view whenever it succeeds. So need to try. Then do we need to wait? Yes. Whenever this succeeds, we want to dismiss it. I believe we just call it dismiss, yes. Okay. So now let's go back to shopping list and start to creating this sheet here. Okay, now let's test this out, see what that happens. Okay, so we're gonna log in with the test, and then we're gonna use password signing. Oh, wrong password. So now we have this 2 item right now, but let's click on this. Now we have a sheet showed up. So I want to enter the item. So let's say water, and this one should be item description, and I believe we forgot to change the name. So let's keep typing. This is for drinking, and reduce thirst. Then double check drinking. Okay, add item, and we should be successfully added. So let's go to Firebase to take a quick look, then we'll come back to fix up the UI, and hopefully we can also hook up the list so we can show up all the data here. Okay, so made some adjustment here that I realized there's a little bit a design problem with the Firebase Firestore database structure. So basically, we make some change here. We're gonna call the collection shopping, and we're gonna use the user ID for the document. Each document is belong to the user, and each document contains the different kind of data. Like for example, one data is gonna be shopping list, is a dictionary, contains items. So we need to turn that to a different type. What we can do is actually encoding this into a data. And then let's try if we can do that. So garlet item data equal to JSON encoder encode volume item. else throw unless error domain 999. Let's comment out this for now. I'm gonna focus on this. Okay, let's try that. Test.com. And I'm gonna call the same thing, water. Let's drink, reduce thirst. Okay, let's go to database, take a quick look. So as you can see right here in the database, we do have that, but the problem is now that is encoded into a data. So we cannot read normally. So let's turn that into a dictionary, then into a dictionary array of a dictionary. That way we can actually populate here properly. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's do this. I do believe we have another one here somewhere. Okay, I think we delete it, but let's do this right here. JSON and try JSON serialization dot JSON with data as item data, and then we want to cast that as string ending. Otherwise, I want to just copy this. And now we want to put that into an array. So we're going to have this item JSON. Okay, let's try that. And we're going to remove this right here. Okay. This is a drink. Reduce thirst. Okay, now refresh database. Now we see the array here. So let's go back to add a couple more and uncomment the code we create above and see what happens. So we can uncomment this and we can update. I can update the shopping list. A few value is array, and we're going to update with the latest item JSON array. So rerun the code. Test at test.com, then pass at word exclamation point. We'll add apple. This is a fruit. Okay, next we're going to add the beef steak. This is a beef product. Okay, let's go back to the database and take a quick look. And you can see right here, we have the array of data right here in the list. Simple and easy. So now let's go back, try to open up the table view to print out the data we got so that we can have all the data populated on the table. Okay, so let's go back to our shopping list view and uncomment this right here. Now we have this list. So in the list, we can technically just use Firebase. Firebase.items. And then we can just use a text to print out any value that's already in here. Okay, I think I missed something here. I think I need to use for each for this, not just a list. For each, and the data gonna be the Firebase manager.items, and then not add action. It's gonna be ID self, and content is gonna be item, and then we're gonna be print down the name for it. Item confirmed to hashbook. Okay, so that should be easy there. Okay, now we just need to simply log in. We got a code 999. So we need to see why is that. Okay, shopping list, fetch shopping list, and we need to find shopping collection and this. And we need to get a document. When we get document, okay. So we are making some mistake here in the get document part. So let's see what we got here. Okay, we do have that come back. Let's see what we got. We do have our data, and then we want to do is converting to getting a get out the shopping list from the items. Okay, I think I know what's going on because it come back as a string ending. So the ending part, we still need to decode them, convert that into something, then decodes them. So in that way that we can we can encode, we can use the JSON decoder to decode them into an array. So let's that's gonna be failing for sure. Okay, so that should be easy there. We can just get this and convert casting that as a data. Then we want to use the JSON return, JSON decoder, decode from a items self from the data, and we returns that. And logging in. and we're still receiving that. Let's see. Okay, so I think we need to make some drastic measures. So ending data, ending list become a ending, and then we're going to use JSON try JSON serialization, the JSON data, right? So we want the data with JSON object, which is ending list, will be let JSON equal to let JSON data equal to this, and then JSON data will be decoded from JSON data to this. Try that again. Test@task.com, pass@word, exclamation point. Voila. Now we have all the water, apple, steak, and all the data that we got from the database. So, and there you have it, seamlessly uploading user input data into the Firestore in our shopping list app by combining the power of a Firestore with the elegance of a SwiftUI. And we can create a seamless and efficient user experience. If you find this video helpful, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Your support helps me continue creating valuable content for you. In our next video, we'll dive into another crucial aspect of Firebase, Firestore integration, editing and deleting data from the Firestore database. We will explore how to implement functionality that allows a user to modify and remove items in our shopping list app. So stay tuned by subscribing and enabling notifications, as I will provide step-by-step guidance on implementing these advanced features. So don't miss out on the opportunity to take your shopping list app to the next level. And remember, I have an exciting giveaway planned at the end of the series. So please make sure to follow my social handles for more details down the road, and you won't want to miss out on the chance to win some amazing prizes. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.